NASA established a research station on Mars 20 years after the Curiosity rover discovered metal fragments in the Martian soil that were of alien origin. The scientists that manned this station mysteriously disappeared several weeks after arrival. So we've just arrived in orbit to investigate. Here we can see the landing site, the abandoned research station, and some unusual things on the surface. So let's go ahead and send down some command nodes and begin our investigation. As usual, we will build an energy economy. Let's just get some collectors drop down here. And we'll notice something unusual. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. We have the creeper and emitters as normal, but we've got something else growing out from the emitters. Something that's also creeping across the surface, but it looks like a lattice. It looks digital. This is a new enemy that we get to fight in Game 3. It's brand new. It's never been tried before in the prior Creeper World games. Let me just go ahead and concentrate on getting a few more things built here. Then I'll talk a little bit about it. No, I'm going to need weapons, so I'm going to go ahead and get those online. And I'm going to need plenty of energy. This new enemy, I call it Digitalis. It acts in a very digital fashion compared to the Creeper, which flows in a very smooth and analog fashion. This stuff reproduces by contact with other Digitalis, and that's exactly what it's doing right now. It also will only grow in defined areas, and I can turn those on and off. Let me just zoom out so we can see the whole map here in this little window that I'm recording the video in. But let me just turn that on. You can see these are the areas that this Digitalis will grow in, and you can see why the poor scientists in this research station they built this thing and they had no idea what they had built it on top of. So they were doomed from the beginning. But we're here with some military equipment, so we're going to put up a fight. Let's go ahead and build some more reactors and go ahead and move forward. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive here. Get pushed forward. And I'm also going to go ahead and build some aircraft. I don't believe I can have too many pulse cannons. This is a case where I believe more is going to be significantly better. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that growth area because we don't need to see it right now. I'm going to help clear the display a little bit. Go ahead and push forward with these units to get them in range of some denser creeper. These little pieces of raised terrain will also block the line of sight for some of these pulse cannons. So we'll just have to work around those. Now let's keep an eye on what's going on down here, because the Digitalis is growing towards us. So we need to make sure we're prepared to handle that. Remember, we don't want this stuff to grow into the base, because we're in serious trouble if that happens. That's what wiped out those scientists, and we're just not going to let that happen. But not letting it happen is half the job. Eliminating it is the complete job. So we need to advance on it and take out these emitters. I think I can stand another mortar, probably another pulse cannon over here on the right. These guys seem to be doing fine. This is where we're actually engaging the Digitalis. So let me zoom down on that so you can see it. The Digitalis will get damaged. It's sort of a three-state system. It's normal, heavily damaged when it's red, and sort of partially damaged when it's yellow. It will only grow when attached to non-damaged Digitalis, but the Digitalis will also heal when attached to healthy cells, and that's why it keeps coming back right now. I'm continuing to damage it with this mortar, but it will grow back. If I pull these guys away a little bit, you'll see it advance. The constants for this are still being tweaked. This may or may not end up this way in the final game. This is a very new concept, and it's been introduced only in the last week. So this is sort of a first implementation that I've been playing with. And tweaking these constants can make this stuff incredibly powerful or very weak. Right now it's on the weak side, so it's fairly easy to manage and contain and control, at least in confined areas like this. If I doubled the expansion rate or the heal rate, or tweaked some of the rules for how it expands, it can really be a nightmare to deal with, and it can take dozens of pulse cannons to keep it pushed back. One other thing it does is that any creeper that's on top of it won't evaporate. Normally, creeper below a minimal level evaporates, but you can see here on this leading edge that there's creeper measuring at 0.01. You can look right here for the actual creeper value right here in the display where the mouse pointer is. It's not evaporating at all. So the creeper is completely safe from evaporation while it's over the Digitalis. Now this stuff is this front up here looks fairly stable. I'm going to be able to advance on that here in just a moment, but the stuff's coming in the middle, so I need to deploy some weapons to deal with that. One other thing about the Digitalis is that it will only grow if there is a path back to an emitter. So it needs a supply line, and we can see here that there's a whole growth area, but it's not connected anywhere. It connects here, of course, and then right here. If I cut that off right there, then I can kill all of this in one action. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do that with aircraft. I'm just going to launch them on attack lines. And I'm going to stagger their takeoff just a little bit, and their approach so that they cover a slightly wider area. Let's go ahead and get those guys deployed. And one other thing, I'm going to select all the bases and set to auto launch. That means they're going to continue to make these runs. And look at what they've done. They've managed to cut through that Digitalis, and this has now become inert. It won't grow anymore. Stopped it dead in its tracks. It won't heal. It won't grow. So we can send in units like, take a look at this pulse cannon here, and he will start to clean it up. Of course, there's still creeper to contend with, so we can't forget about that. But it looks like so long as I let these guys run these attack lines, and they're going to take off again and come back after they've rearmed. I won't have to manually do that. They're going to keep this line cut. Now, if there's a break, or I call them away, this stuff will grow back. It'll reconnect, and off this dead Digitalis will grow again. Here it goes. There was a little bit of a connection there. Okay, there it's cut again. And I'll turn off the growth area because we don't need to look at that anymore. And before the video ends, because I'm not going to have time to play the entire mission right now, but let's see if we can sneak up and take out this emitter from the right flank where none of the Digitalis is growing. And this is getting further away from a supply, which are the command nodes. So I'm going to build a trunk of relays. The reason I do that is because relays conduct packets at twice the speed that collectors do. So they're going to get ammunition to the front lines twice as fast. A little careless there. Lost a collector. It's okay. I don't believe it will hurt me one bit to have a shield or two in standby. I'll build a couple more collectors while I can. Make sure everybody's happy down here. Nothing crazy going on. Everything looks fairly stable, at least for now. This mass of creepers building over time, but not very fast. I think I'm okay for now. Actually, let me just go ahead and build some more relays. They reach further, so I might as well build them. Okay, I've got a cut up here at the top. Let's just zoom all the way down. That's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna work my shields over now. I can redeploy some of these pulse cannons, bring them in, moving my mortars forward because I want them to be able to reach deep into the creeper. And that's exactly what they're doing. See if we can get a little aggressive with a forward relay there. It's a little tight, but everything's okay so far. This would be a good spot for a shield. If I put those there, then I think I've got a good opportunity to park that nullifier right here. Take that guy out. Just zoom out and get an overview of what's going on. What I did was I snuck around from the right side. I didn't bother engaging this Digitalis mass over here. This emitter was relatively undefended on the right flank, so I've taken care of that. My strafers are keeping this line of Digitalis cut right here, so I don't have to worry about this stuff going forward. And these guys are easily defending against this southern branch. So once that nullifier takes him out, I'm in pretty good shape. I'll even have a power zone, but this Digitalis will still be on top of it. So what I'd really like to do is to clear that out, and it looks like right here would be a good spot to cut. Now I don't want to lose, or I don't want to reuse the current strafers, because they're keeping this guy cut right here, and I don't want to pull any away. But several new ones deployed in this area should cut that. All right, scratch one emitter. Let these guys get built. Just I'm waiting on that to happen. I'll just play around here a little bit. Move these pulse cannons forward because they're just really not doing much otherwise. Okay, these guys are building. I'm going to let them go ahead and charge up because I want to launch them one at a time, staggered over time. Okay, good enough. And let's target them there. Maybe just a little bit. Send him in. There, it's cut. Remember to put these guys to auto launch, and they should keep that area cut now. Now I'm going to go park a pulse cannon up here. Even though it's covered with Digitalis and Creeper right now, he's going to start taking damage, but that's okay. So let him swing around and clear the area out. He will clear out any Digitalis underneath himself. Okay, looking good. So we managed to cut off this entire sub-branch of the Digitalis just by this surgical airstrike. We can get away with this, of course, because there's no air exclusion towers over here that's preventing air power. Otherwise, we might have to think about some other mechanism to do it. So, let's take one last look here, zoomed all the way out so we can see the map. That's how the new enemy looks currently, and I'll let you consider how you might advance from this point forward. Thanks for watching.